Stop believing the hype. Copilot doesn't increase real velocity. It just accelerates the rate at which you create technical debt. Here is the proof from 1 year of heavy use. I've spent the last 12 months using Copilot in every single production project I've touched. From scaling microservices to refactoring legacy monoliths, I've seen exactly where the magic stops and the nightmare begins. Today, we're stripping away the marketing. I'm going to show you why that instant function you just tabbed into is actually a ticking time bomb in your codebase. We'll break down the difference between perceived speed and actual delivery. And more importantly, I'll give you the specific framework to use AI assistance without sacrificing your system's long-term health. If you want to remain a high-level engineer and not just a prompt operator, you need to see this. On the surface, it feels like a superpower. You hit tab and boom, 10 lines of logic appear instantly. You feel like you're flying. But here is the trap. We've confused typing speed with engineering speed. Typing is cheap. Maintaining is expensive. Think about the last time you accepted a suggestion that looked right. You didn't actually read every single line, did you? You just checked if it compiled. If it worked, you pushed it. Now, imagine that multiplied by 1,000 across your entire codebase. You aren't building a scalable system. You're building a house of cards made of mostly correct snippets. This is where the hidden tax kicks in. When that AI-generated logic breaks at 3 a.m., you're the one on call. But you didn't actually architect the logic. You just approved it. Now you have to debug code you don't fully understand. That's not velocity. That's just borrowing time from your future self at a massive interest rate. And the worst part, your manager sees the PRs flying in and thinks you've become a 10x engineer, while in reality, you're just automating the creation of your own technical debt. So here is the uncomfortable truth. We've confused typing speed with engineering velocity. When you hit tab to accept a suggestion, you feel a rush. It feels like you're moving 10x faster. But engineering isn't about how many lines of code you can ship per hour. It's about how many problems you can solve permanently. Here is where the technical debt starts leaking into your codebase. First, let's talk about the reviewer's fatigue. When you write code manually, you've already performed a mental review of every line. With Copilot, you're no longer the author, you're an editor. The problem: reading code is significantly harder than writing it. Because the AI is so confident, you start skimming. You miss that one subtle edge case. You overlook a potential memory leak. You accept a pattern that works for this function, but breaks the architecture of the entire module. Then there's the pattern drift. Copilot doesn't understand your long-term architectural vision. It understands local patterns. It suggests the most probable next token based on billions of lines of public code, not necessarily the asterisk best token for your specific system. Over a year, this creates a Frankenstein codebase. You end up with 5 different ways to handle API errors because the AI suggested something different in every file. That's technical debt, pure and simple. But the most dangerous part isn't the code. It's the cognitive erosion. When you stop struggling with the implementation, you stop deeply understanding the why. Professional growth happens in the struggle. When the AI solves the hard part for you, you're skipping the mental gym. 1 year in, many developers are finding they can build features faster, but they can't debug them as deeply. They've traded mastery for convenience. Now, I'm not saying delete the plugin. I'm saying change your relationship with it. Stop using it as an autopilot. Start using it as a sophisticated autocomplete for boilerplate. If you can't explain exactly why a suggested line of code is there, you shouldn't be hitting tab. The goal is to remain the architect, not just the operator. Now look, I'm not saying scrap AI entirely. The goal isn't to avoid these tools, but to use them intentionally. If you want to experiment with different approaches, Whether it's the deeply integrated JetBrains AI assistant or the privacy-focused Tabnine, I've put the links in the description, including Copilot if you're still wanting to give it a shot. The result after 1 year is clear. AI increases typing speed, but it doesn't increase thinking speed. If you outsource your logic to an LLM, you aren't moving faster. You're just building a house of cards at 10x speed. Stop optimizing for lines of code. Start optimizing for maintainability. If this perspective saved you from a future refactor nightmare, hit the like button. Subscribe for more honest takes on the tech stack. See you in the next one.